In the command nexus of Orbital Station P742, First Analyst Verix observed the holographic display with growing concern. The quantum probability matrices that had served the Meridian Collective flawlessly for 3 centuries were showing anomalies. Small ones at first, microscopic variances in their predictions of local spacetime events. But they were growing. Impossible, Verix whispered, their crystalline form shifting through shades of deep blue to anxious purple. The Meridian Collective had achieved computational perfection generations ago. Their quantum prediction engines could calculate the position and trajectory of every particle in a star system. They had eliminated uncertainty itself. Until now. Secondary Analyst Karn, verify these readings, Verix commanded, their tone modulated to perfect clarity as required by collective protocol. The younger analyst's form shimmered into existence beside them, transparent crystalline structures refracting the soft light of the command nexus. Verified, First Analyst. Karn responded after exactly 2.47 seconds, the optimal time for thorough analysis according to collective efficiency standards. The anomaly exceeds standard deviation parameters by 17.298% and rising. Our models cannot predict its behavior. Verix's form pulsed with uncharacteristic agitation. In 3 centuries of service to the collective, they had never encountered something their probability engines couldn't analyze. The Meridians had expanded across 12 star systems without a single failed prediction. Their technology, society, and very consciousness were built on the foundation of perfect mathematical certainty. The holographic display shifted, showing a new contact at the edge of their sensor range. The object was approaching at faster than light speeds, but its trajectory was erratic. It would shift course seemingly at random, defying the probability engine's attempts to plot its path. Classification, Verix demanded. Unknown, Karn replied, their crystalline form flickering with confusion. The energy signature suggests artificial construction, but the design principles do not match any known civilization in our database. It appears to be inefficient. The word sent a shudder through Verix's crystalline matrix. Inefficiency was anathema to the collective. They had purged it from their society along with uncertainty and chaos. Whatever this object was, it represented everything the Meridians had evolved beyond. Tactical analysis, Verix ordered, expanding the holographic display to show weapon probability matrices. The results were disturbing. The object's erratic movement patterns made it impossible to calculate targeting solutions with their usual perfect accuracy. First Analyst, Karn's voice carried an unfamiliar note, something approaching emotion, long engineered out of Meridian consciousness. The object is attempting communication. The command nexus filled with a new set of holographic data streams. The transmission was crude by Meridian standards, carried on electromagnetic frequencies the collective had abandoned millennia ago. But its content was clear enough. This is Captain Elena Santos of the Earth Defense Force vessel Hyperion. We come in peace but are prepared to defend ourselves if necessary. Please respond. Earth. Verix accessed the collective's vast database. The word matched records of a small planet in an unremarkable star system, inhabited by a species that had achieved spaceflight less than 3 centuries ago. They were biological entities, their consciousness still bound to organic neural networks that operated on chemical and electrical signals. By all measures, they should have been primitive, predictable. Their vessel's design is perplexing, Karn observed, analyzing the scanning data. Their faster-than-light drive operates on principles that should be unstable, yet somehow functions. Their weapons systems show signs of recent modification, incorporating technologies that appear to be. They hesitated before continuing, improvised. Improvisation. Another concept the Meridians had discarded. Their technology was the product of perfect calculation and prediction, each advancement building on proven mathematical certainties. The idea of combining technologies through trial and error was as alien to them as the organic beings now approaching their space. Launch interceptors, Verix commanded. A squadron of Meridian vessels emerged from the station, their crystalline forms perfect geometric shapes that reflected the mathematical precision of their design. They moved in formation, each ship's position calculated to 7 decimal places of accuracy. The human vessel's response defied all prediction models. Instead of retreating or assuming a defensive posture, it accelerated directly toward the Meridian formation. But its approach was chaotic, its trajectory shifting in patterns that seemed random but somehow avoided every targeting solution the interceptors calculated. Impossible, Karn whispered, echoing Varix's earlier statement. Their maneuvers, they're acting without mathematical basis. The probability engines cannot. The human ship opened fire. Its weapons were a hybrid of technologies, combining principles in ways that violated Meridian engineering protocols. The energy beams didn't travel in straight lines, but curved and twisted through space, striking 3 interceptors before their perfect defenses could adapt. How? Varix's form pulsed with agitation. Their targeting calculations should take at least 30 seconds to process. The energy patterns suggest they're firing based on intuition. The word felt wrong, describing a concept that had no place in Meridian consciousness. Yet they were watching it in action. The human vessel moved like a living thing, its responses too quick to be the result of computational analysis. Its crew was somehow making complex spatial calculations instantly, using their organic neural networks in ways the Meridian's quantum computers couldn't match. First analyst. Karn's voice carried urgency now, emotion bleeding through their perfect control. They're transmitting again. Captain Santos's voice filled the command nexus once more. Your interceptors have been disabled, not destroyed. We could have done worse, but that's not why we're here. You need to listen to us. There's something coming, something that threatens both our civilizations, something even your perfect predictions haven't detected yet. Varix processed this statement, their crystalline form shifting through shades of uncertainty. The human ship's performance had already defied their understanding of physical laws and computational limits. If they were warning of an even greater threat, maintain position. Varix commanded the remaining interceptors. To Karn, they added, prepare for direct communication, and initiate a Level 1 probability analysis of all long-range sensor data. Search for any anomalies our standard predictions might have missed. As the command nexus hummed with activity, Varix studied the human vessel. Its design was asymmetrical, its technology a mixture of different principles and improvisations. By all Meridian standards, it should not have been able to defeat their perfect interceptors. Yet it had, using methods that defied prediction. Perhaps, Varix reflected, their definition of perfection needed revision. The universe, it seemed, still held surprises, even for those who thought they had eliminated uncertainty itself. Captain Elena Santos stood on the bridge of the Hyperion, studying the crystalline structure of the Meridian station. Through the main viewport, the massive construct seemed to defy physical laws, its geometric patterns shifting and realigning with mathematical precision. It was beautiful in an alien way, and terrifying in its implications. They're still trying to predict us, Lieutenant Maya Chen reported from the tactical station, hiding a smile. The neural interface wrapped around her temples pulsed softly as it translated the Meridian scanning attempts. Their probability engines are running at maximum capacity. I think we're giving them a headache. Elena understood the humor in that. The Meridians didn't get headaches. They didn't even have heads in any conventional sense. But their perfect computational systems were clearly struggling to handle the controlled chaos of human combat tactics. Keep our neural sync systems random but responsive, Elena ordered. Don't fall into any patterns they might recognize. The hybrid technology that powered the Hyperion systems was humanity's greatest achievement, and their best-kept secret until now. By linking human neural networks directly to their ship systems, they had created something the Meridians couldn't predict. Technology guided by intuition and emotion, rather than pure mathematics. Captain, Communications Officer David Rivera interrupted. We're receiving a response from the station. They're inviting us to dock. Elena raised an eyebrow. They're either very confident or very desperate. Analysis. Dr. Sarah Morrison, their xenopsychologist, stepped forward. Her dark eyes were focused on the shifting patterns of the Meridian station. They're both. The Meridians built their entire civilization on the principle of perfect prediction. We've just proved that their foundation has cracks. They need to understand us, to reduce us to mathematical variables they can control. Elena and Morrison exchanged glances. It wasn't acceptance, not yet, but it was a start. The real challenge would be convincing the Meridians to look beyond their perfect predictions before it was too late for both their civilizations. The Meridian analysis chamber erupted in chaos, or what passed for chaos among beings devoted to perfect order. Crystalline forms shifted through agitated colors as the sensor data confirmed humanity's warning. The Void Hunters had arrived at the edge of Meridian space, and their perfect predictions were useless against them. Observation confirms human analysis. Secondary analyst Karn reported, their form pulsing with distress. The entities exist in quantum states our probability engines cannot resolve. Traditional detection methods are ineffective. Verix watched the main holographic display where Captain Santos' neural-linked pilot, Lieutenant Chen, demonstrated how humans perceived the Void Hunters. The human officer's consciousness, translated through their hybrid technology, painted impressionistic patterns in the quantum foam of space-time, gaps and distortions that Meridian sensors couldn't quantify. You feel them, Verix stated, trying to process this alien concept. Your organic neural networks detect perturbations in reality that our quantum computers cannot predict. We don't just feel them, Maya explained, her neural interface glowing as she projected her sensory data. We've learned to anticipate them, not through calculations, but through something like instinct. They leave traces, not physical ones, but disturbances in the way space-time feels to our enhanced senses. Dr. Morrison stepped forward, her expertise in xenopsychology proving invaluable in bridging the gap between human and Meridian thought patterns. Your civilization's pursuit of perfect prediction led you to ignore anything that couldn't be reduced to mathematical certainty. But the universe is full of phenomena that exist in the spaces between absolute states. The chamber's displays shifted, showing the first confirmed Void Hunter attack on a Meridian outpost. The crystalline structure, a perfect geometric arrangement of quantum-linked technology, simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed, erased, as if it had never been there at all. Impossible, another analyst declared, but the word carried less conviction than before. The Meridians were learning that impossibility itself was a limitation of perspective. Their hunting order, Elena explained, her voice carrying the weight of hard-won understanding. Your perfect mathematical patterns draw them like beacons. Humanity survived our first encounters because our technology was too chaotic, too unpredictable for them to easily target. But you've made yourselves perfect targets. You propose we abandon perfection. Verix's tone carried genuine distress at the thought. Generations of advancement, mathematical precision, the elimination of uncertainty, all must be discarded. No, Morrison interjected. We propose evolution, the combination of your precision and our adaptability. Something entirely new. Maya's neural interface pulsed as she pulled up tactical data from previous encounters with the Void Hunters. Watch what happens when we introduce controlled chaos into perfect systems. The Hunters can't predict where to strike, can't find patterns to exploit. The display showed a human vessel, its systems guided by neural interface, creating randomized energy patterns that disrupted the Void Hunters' attack vectors. It wasn't perfect, couldn't be perfect, by definition. But it worked. Your civilization achieved something remarkable, Elena said to Verix. You mastered the mathematics of reality itself. But there's more to existence than what can be calculated. The Void Hunters prove that. They're not just a threat to our civilizations, they're a threat to the very concept of ordered reality. Verix's crystalline form shifted through deep, contemplative colors. To combine our technologies would violate countless protocols. The integration of organic neural patterns with our quantum systems, the computational models alone would take years to. They were interrupted by a priority alert. 3 more Meridian outposts had gone dark, erased from existence by the approaching hunters. The pattern of attacks was expanding, but there was no pattern. And that was precisely the problem. "We don't have years," Maya said firmly. "The hunters are learning, adapting to your defenses. Every perfect pattern you create is just another target for them. Then we must." Verix hesitated, their form flickering with uncertainty. "We must learn to be unpredictable." The words seemed to physically pain them, but they continued. Secondary Analyst Karn, begin immediate analysis of human neural interface technology. Captain Santos, we require your expertise in intuitive response patterns. Elena nodded, understanding both the concession and the opportunity it represented. Lieutenant Chen, show them how our hybrid systems work. Dr. Morrison, help them understand the psychological components. They need to grasp that emotion and instinct aren't flaws in the system, they're features. And the collective's leadership? Karn asked. They will resist such a fundamental change to our operational protocols. Show them that, Verix said, indicating the replay of the outpost's erasure. Perfect order is no longer an advantage. It is a vulnerability we cannot afford. As humans and Meridians began their unprecedented collaboration, the void between stars grew darker. The hunters were gathering, drawn by the mathematical patterns of Meridian civilization, but they would soon face something new. The combination of perfect calculation and human chaos, precision guided by intuition, technology enhanced by consciousness itself. The question was whether they could perfect imperfection quickly enough to survive. The integration chamber aboard the Meridian station hummed with an unsettling mixture of quantum harmonics and the more organic rhythms of human neural patterns. Lieutenant Maya Chen lay in the center of a crystalline matrix, neural interface cables merging with Meridian quantum circuitry in ways that should have been impossible. Neural synchronization at 30%. Dr. Morrison reported, watching both Maya's vital signs and the shifting colors of the Meridian technology responding to her consciousness. The hybrid interface is holding stable. Incredible, Karn observed, their crystalline form pulsing with a combination of scientific fascination and what might have been anxiety. Her organic neural patterns are creating quantum states our systems never predicted. The possibilities are. Focus, Verix interrupted. We must achieve viable integration before the Void Hunters breach our outer defense perimeter. Captain Santos, status of the fleet. Elena checked the tactical display, which now incorporated both Meridian precision and human intuitive warnings. 6 more outposts gone. The hunters are moving faster than we anticipated, learning from each attack. They're starting to anticipate even our randomized defense patterns. Maya's voice came through the neural link, carrying the strange harmonic overtones of human speech filtered through Meridian quantum systems. Because we're still thinking too linearly. Even our chaos follows certain underlying patterns. We need to go deeper. The lieutenant's consciousness expanded through the hybrid interface, her human intuition merging with Meridian quantum processing in ways that transformed the very nature of both. The display showed her mental image of the Void Hunters, not as sensor data or mathematical models, but as distortions in the fabric of perception itself. There, she said, highlighting a section of space that appeared normal to every conventional sensor. They're not just erasing reality. They're unwriting it, changing the fundamental rules of existence in localized spaces. Impossible, one of the Meridian technicians declared automatically, then added with what might have been embarrassment. Though I acknowledge our definition of impossible requires revision. The hunters aren't bound by our understanding of physics, Morrison explained, monitoring Maya's neural patterns as they interacted with Meridian quantum systems. They operate on principles that exist outside both our mathematical models and our intuitive grasp of reality. Then how can we fight them? Karn asked, their form shifting through shades of frustration. By changing our own rules, Maya answered. Through the hybrid interface, her consciousness created patterns that were neither purely mathematical nor completely random, something entirely new, born from the merger of human and meridian approaches. The station's quantum processors struggled to interpret these patterns, trying to impose mathematical order on intuitive leaps. But where they failed to compute, they began to adapt, learning to flow with the organic chaos rather than control it. Synchronization at 45%, Morrison announced. Maya's neural patterns are actually teaching the meridian systems how to think differently. Not replacing mathematical precision, but adding new dimensions to it. Elena watched as the tactical display transformed, showing space in ways neither human nor meridian sensors alone could perceive. The Void Hunters appeared as shadows of possibility, places where the normal rules of reality grew thin. We need to implement these changes across the entire fleet, she said. Every ship, every weapons system, every defender needs to learn this new way of perceiving reality. Impossible, Varric stated, then amended, with current resources and time constraints. The computational requirements alone. Stop thinking like a computer, Maya interrupted, her consciousness still merged with the hybrid systems. You don't need to calculate every possibility. Feel the patterns, the flow of space-time itself. The hunters leave ripples in reality. Once you learn to sense them, prediction becomes intuition. Through the neural interface, she demonstrated, showing how human consciousness could guide meridian quantum systems to perceive these distortions. The hybrid technology didn't try to predict where the hunters would appear. It learned to feel their approach, responding with both mathematical precision and intuitive adaptation. Remarkable, Karn observed, studying the data patterns. The efficiency actually increases when we reduce our reliance on pure calculation. The organic components, they fill gaps in our mathematical models we never knew existed. Because you were too focused on perfection to see the power of imperfection, Morrison said. The human brain evolved to find patterns in chaos, to make intuitive leaps that bypass the need for complete calculation. Combined with your quantum precision, it creates something greater than either approach alone. The station shuddered as another outpost winked out of existence, the Void Hunters drawing ever closer. But now they could see them coming, track their movements through the quantum foam of space-time itself. Begin immediate implementation across all combat units, Varric commanded. Priority to forward defensive positions. Captain Santos, we require additional neural interface operators. Already on their way, Elena confirmed. But this isn't just about technology. Your crews need to learn to trust their new perceptions, to work with human operators as true partners, to embrace uncertainty, Varric said, their tone suggesting they were still struggling with the concept. To find strength in imperfection. To evolve, Maya added through the neural link. Both of us, together. Because the hunters aren't just coming for your mathematical perfection or our organic chaos. They're coming for reality itself, and we can only save it by changing our fundamental understanding of how it works. As if in response to her words, the hybrid sensors detected new movements in the void. The hunters were gathering for a major assault, drawn by the powerful quantum signatures of the Meridian homeworld. The next few hours would determine whether this unprecedented collaboration between human intuition and Meridian precision could save both civilizations, or if the universe itself would be unwritten, one perfect pattern at a time. The combined human Meridian fleet hung in space like a constellation of possibilities. Each ship now carried both species, their technologies and minds linked in ways that defied conventional physics. Through the hybrid neural interfaces, they could see the approaching Void Hunters as ripples in reality, places where the mathematical certainty of existence began to fray. They're changing their attack pattern, Maya reported from the Hyperion's neural command nexus. Her consciousness, merged with both human and Meridian systems, perceived layers of reality that neither species could see alone. They're learning, adapting to our hybrid defenses. Confirmed, Varix responded from the fleet's flagship, their crystalline form now housing neural interface components. The hunters demonstrate capability for strategic analysis beyond previous observations. They perceive our evolutionary leap as a threat. Elena studied the tactical display, which showed both mathematical probabilities and intuitive warnings. The Void Hunters had gathered in unprecedented numbers, drawn by the powerful quantum signatures of the Meridian homeworld. But there was something else in their behavior, something that Maya's enhanced perception had detected. "They're not just hunting order anymore," Maya said, her voice carrying harmonics from the quantum link. "They're hunting change itself. Our merger of chaos and precision. It frightens them." "Fear is an organic response," Karn observed from their tactical station. "These entities should not be capable of." They stopped, their form shifting through colors of realization. "Ah, I begin to understand. We must abandon assumptions about capability." The fleet's hybrid sensors detected the first major assault beginning. The Void Hunters didn't so much move as rewrite the space they occupied, erasing the normal laws of physics and replacing them with nothing. Empty spaces in reality itself. "All ships, execute defense pattern Epsilon Chaos," Alina commanded. The human phrase carried through Meridian quantum channels, translated into mathematical formulae that were purposefully incomplete. The fleet responded with movements that were neither random nor predictable, guided by the merged consciousness of both species. As the hybrid fleet stood guard over the Meridian homeworld, human and crystalline forms working together in harmony, they had proven something profound. The future belonged not to those who achieved perfection, but to those who learned to find perfection in imperfection itself.